Is Nerf more painful than Airsoft?
Welcome back to Port City Podcast, episode 35. We're here to talk about Airsoft versus Nerf.
What is Nerf?
Yeah, what is this? What is this new expression of combat?
And why do I feel like if I didn't have Nerf, I would have nothing?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it does feel that way.
It feels like if I didn't
have Nerf,
I would have nothing.
Yeah.
And I have no idea what it is. All right. Let's talk about it.
Well, yeah, today we're just going to be kind of breaking down some of the aspects of Airsoft and Nerf and comparing them. What exactly are the differences for someone who might not know? And if you play Airsoft or you play Nerf, this is a great opportunity for you to kind of learn some cool stuff about the different sports.
Communities, sports, hobbies.
I would say let's start it off just kind of talking about like Airsoft as a sport.
Right.
Like
I feel like if you don't know
what equipment, what's used, what does, what does that look like? What does a game of Airsoft look like?
It's going to be fast paced. It's going to be invisible BBs flying.
Yeah.
It's going to be
plastic BBs.
You'll have people running around in full kit and everything, and it's usually in the woods. So
using like replica firearms.
Yeah.
You can see here we've got like M4s, RPKs, G3s, stuff of that nature.
And yeah, I mean, so as far as equipment that's used, it's electric blasters or gas-powered blasters that are replicas of real steel firearms. They fire a 6mm plastic BB, and I think the main things about it are the milsim aspect of it, where you can kind of dress up and be all tactical and everything.
It does seem to have a very like military adjacent vibe to it. Like when we go out there, we like to wear the kits, the camo and all that stuff, but we're not really like we're not really treating it like, oh, we're doing military. We're having fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. Like for someone who likes to play Call of Duty, if you play Call of Duty, you may not know anything about the military. You may not even know anything about real steel firearms, but like you can enjoy Call of Duty because it's a fun hobby and just a way to entertain yourself. I feel like that's kind of the same with Airsoft in a lot of ways. It is very adjacent, right? It's fully based off of real military equipment and weaponry, but like
it's just for fun.
You're just having fun.
But Nerf,
on the other hand, I feel like is more like
it's.
I feel like it has this like kind of kiddie connotation. Like okay, for us, right? Real military people will make fun of us for playing Airsoft. They're like, "Ooh, why don't you just get a real firearm?"
Yeah,
and it's like that's fine. I like for my friends to get back up after I shoot them.
I don't. Yeah,
It's not the same.
It's harder to do that with real.
Yeah. You can't shoot your friends with real. Nerf, I feel like, though, for airsofters, Nerf is kind of laughed at because it's like this, like...
Why not play Airsoft?
Why not play Airsoft? This is like a kiddie thing, like little kids play Nerf, which is true, but also not exclusive.
Yeah.
Like, there are actual Nerf leagues and events, and I guess it wouldn't be... Nerf is like a name, right? Nerf is like a brand. The name.
It's
Dart tag is what a lot of people call it, or foam
because that's
blasters.
Primarily what the material is. It's whether it's a dart or a ball or a disc, it's usually made out of foam.
So but yeah, like we've got M4s, RPKs, G3s. Nerf, while there are some
that are styled
after that, you're going to look at it and go, that's a Nerf.
That's a fake.
Yeah, that's a toy,
blaster,
not real. Like, they may be shaped like an M4, but they're not going to be painted and to scale, right?
Right.
These are like replicas. If I picked that up and I picked up my actual AR, they feel very similar.
The G3 that's back here, I can take real actual parts off of a real working G3 and put it onto this fake replica G3, and it would work because it's the same to scale as its real steel counterpart. Not necessarily the case for Nerf.
Nerf has a lot of plastic.
And there's plastic in Airsoft as well. But I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that, one, where Nerf came from, where like the origins of the blasters.
It originates as a kid's toy.
It does originate as a kid's toy, which to a degree so does Airsoft in a way.
Airsoft is kind of like a branch off from BB, right? So like the Daisy Red Ryder,
because that's what people used to use.
You're going to take metal BBs and you're going to go plink cans in the backyard.
But people used to just use
it
those
for squirrels.
But like shooting their friends, though.
But like at some point, someone was like, I'm tired of digging metal BBs out of my butt cheek.
Yeah.
I want to make a plastic one that won't hurt as much.
Yeah. Or a lower powered plastic. Yeah.
So it's a little bit more, just because of that pain that is associated with it, it's a little bit more like adult, I feel like, or like okay, great example. There are new laws being passed for Airsoft that are barring purchases at 18 years old or older. You have to be a adult to purchase Airsoft blasters. Nerf, on the other hand, you do not. All right? There's not as much heavy regulation on it.
Could literally be a child.
You can kind of do whatever.
I think there is maybe on the packaging like a for 9 and up or something like that, but
So, I think with Nerf, it's like I've played a lot of Nerf, but not in a competitive like event type of way, but just like birthday parties, goofing around with friends, that type of stuff. And Nerf is fun. Do not get me wrong. I will go hard on a Nerf war.
I have done. You and I have done it.
We will go hard on some Nerf wars. Ain't nothing more fun in the house than everyone picking up a Nerf blaster
and just a big free for all,
go into full on war across the whole house.
Alliances are made.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Trust is broken.
Yeah, there's drama.
We love
all that stuff. But like and the other thing too is I feel like Airsoft gets really technical.
Yeah,
because there's a lot more precision with the BB. Right, you're shooting further, harder, more accurate. Nerf has that. Like, there's like the Nerf dart, then there's the half dart that people developed, and there's now those rival balls.
Yeah.
And even for a while they did discs.
Mm-hmm.
And the disc ones actually kind of were clutch.
The disc ones were sick.
Like I don't know why they discontinued those, but the disc ones were my favorite because they were pre-rival, right? So rival really stepped it up with the range and power, but those disc ones would shoot so straight and so far, and they would bounce way better. So I would carry the disc one as a sidearm and run my little shotgun Nerf blaster. And then if I came up to a hallway with a bunch of people or someone behind cover, I would draw that disc one and I would literally aim and bounce it off of walls to hit people.
That's pretty good.
So, like, they have a lot of variety there, too. I think when you get into anyone who's playing Nerf, like, professional Nerf, is not running stock equipment.
No,
it's all custom.
Modified or it's custom.
All modified. It's third-party stuff.
Yeah.
And actually, some of that, that side of Nerf we kind of wanted to get into today.
Yeah, because I think it's really interesting, like what you can go to Target and buy as opposed to when it becomes a sport, when it becomes a hobby for people,
right?
And adults get into it and all that stuff.
There's a lot more details.
Spending money. Yeah.
There's a lot of nuances to the gameplay and like the upgrades that you can do. our friend, our dearest friend, Logan Core, has a fully upgraded. He did like a custom build for the what's that one Nerf one? The one that they released that was like the first popular flywheel one that was modeled after the Recon, but instead of being like it had flywheels.
Oh, I don't know.
Fed, and you'd wind it up.
The barricade or whatever, maybe.
No, that was the big one. This one was like modeled after the Recon.
I don't know.
That like, anyways, it doesn't matter. I remember all those names for most of those old Nerf blasters.
Yeah. The Maverick, dude, the revolver.
Maverick.
That
clutch,
had the slide.
Yeah.
Dude, that thing.
Hammer shot is my favorite. I still use that when I do Nerf.
Yeah.
The hammer shot, I have a customized. I customized my hammer shot, so I'm familiar with a little bit of the Nerf modding. But we wanted to take a minute to kind of show you guys some gameplay and some of what like the higher end Nerf stuff can be. We've got some videos here, and then we're just going to kind of discuss after that. Are they comparable, right? We've talked about the differences. Now we're going to say, if you're an Airsofter, can you move over to Nerf? And if you're a Nerf person, can you move over to Airsoft? Like, we're going to kind of talk about, is it a viable alternative, basically? Right. Are they interchangeable? Let's see here. Do you want to start them off with the gameplay that we found, or do you want to start off with some of the custom builds?
Oh, I don't know, man. Let's do that custom build.
So you guys can see here, the Moab is a custom 3D built Nerf blaster. It's not lagging on here as much. For some reason, the TV, the refresh rate is really bad.
That is so cool, man.
So yeah, this guy.
So it's all 3D printed.
I mean, you can see there's metal hardware and stuff. Like, it's assembled with screws, and I'm sure there's like metal rods and pins and the computer components for the display and the switches and all that. You have to order custom, but like the body is all 3D printed. And it's basically just a Nerf minigun. It's cool here. You'll see I don't know what the RPM on it is, but you can see it's firing super quick.
Dude, they have I'm waiting for him to show the clip of him like mag dumping it.
We'll link these videos down in the description below if you'd like to click through and watch them yourself. The full thing. We're not going to show all of it here, but basically, like, I think if I remember, we were watching through this. The guy is describing like kind of the reasoning behind this design, and in Airsoft, you're not actually like, even your belt-fed machine guns aren't truly belt-fed.
No,
like,
it's a reservoir.
It's a reservoir that's pouring BBs into the hop-up unit. Because in Airsoft, you've got your AEGs, which are battery-powered with pistons and motors and gears, and then you've got your HPA or green gas or CO2 powered, which is using gas to move the slide and cycle rounds and propel the BB. But essentially, when you're talking about AEGs, every single one of them is the same down in core concept.
Yeah.
Now, parts and quality and like versions of the gearbox are different, but like the technology is all the same. That M4 is the same thing that's in Corbin's M4, like mine versus his. It's like you're basically just taking this technology and putting it into bodies.
Yeah.
So this is the same thing. Like an M249, there's nothing uniquely special about it other than, it's probably going to shoot really fast. They might have a quicker, like high-speed motor. But like, as far as the technology inside of it, it's pretty much the same as what's going to be found in anything else. It's just fun to have that machine gun option. Now here, you can see this is in Nerf, it's very unique because they actually are using a belt. And they have the, that's actually what he was just explaining. Wow. Wow, that's not even all of it. They didn't even fire all of the rounds.
So yeah, they're showing it there. Okay, yeah. So see that right there. It is literally a chain.
Yeah. And they were actually just explaining that was basically like the motor, the clutch, he said, cannot handle the weight of a 20-foot chain.
No.
Because a lot of Nerf branded stuff, it's just a chain, right? And it goes through and the chain comes out the other side. But by having it de-link as it exits and eject the shells,
it saves
the clutch from having to pull the weight of the whole thing, right? Yeah. It's crazy. So, yeah. I mean, you can, like I said, you can click through and watch this for yourself.
It does look like a video game.
And this is what's so interesting
though.
to me is I really think that Nerf is even more obscure because Airsoft is considered obscure to people.
Yeah.
But it's really not. It's a full industry.
Yeah.
You know, I think this Nerf stuff is even more obscure because of the simple fact that competitive high-end level Nerf is not like commercially available from big companies. It's a lot of custom builds from smaller companies or even just individuals. That right there is built by like one guy who has a
3D
YouTube channel and just was like, I'm going to just make this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that gives you kind of an idea of what that higher end crazy Nerf stuff is like.
So there's all kind of stuff that you can do, right? Like we've got this minigun. You'll see in these videos that we've got like M4 style blasters. It's a bit wild.
Unavailable with subtitles. So here's some Nerf gameplay. You can see this guy's running mags, kind of an M4 inspired blaster with like you were saying Picatinny and everything.
It's got Picatinny on the top.
They're running like belts.
He's got a red dot on there.
A little suppressor. A lot of that stuff is cosmetic more than anything, but like that's a pretty accurate shot right there. That was a decently accurate shot for a.
He's got a hand stop on there. That was pretty decent. Look at that.
Look at that. That's a decent shot for Nerf.
I mean, they're using actual like cover.
You can see on the ground there's darts everywhere.
Darts everywhere. I bet that's gotta be a
I don't see any BBs. I just see darts, which leads me to believe that this is a Nerf arena. Which means that there is somewhere they have Nerf fields where you go play Nerf.
That's crazy.
The layout is very reminiscent of an Airsoft indoor CQB field, but also uniquely different. Like the cover is all open up top. Like there's no full walls except for like that little ledge right there that he's got in the corner of frame.
Yeah.
Like there's windows. Everything's like furnished, like not furnished, but like finished. That's like brick and sheetrock. Those guys are wearing jerseys.
Hold on. Go back. Get a pause on this dude's when he runs through here.
Here he comes. What do you want to look at?
Oh, I'm just trying to see what his blaster looks like.
He's wearing a belt. He's wearing a jersey.
It's pink.
Little like MP.
He's got another foregrip on it, right?
MP
like
something.
It's a folded stock. Wild.
I'm shocked that guy didn't hit him.
People are just moving around.
Yeah, this guy looks like he knows what he's doing.
Definitely does.
And you can see these guys aren't having to really wear much in the way of face protection. I think they might have some like clear Crossman glasses on, but like they're not wearing like paintball masks or nothing.
No.
Just some simple eye protection.
That might be kind of nice.
This looks fun. I would do this. It does.
I would absolutely do this.
I think I would personally enjoy Airsoft more, but like this looks fun. If someone
enjoyed doing this with Airsoft more, but yeah.
I would rather do Airsoft, but like if someone invited me to go do this, I would definitely show up. This is the Nerf OP International. Let's see here. I think we had looked at this one originally.
Maybe, yeah.
That's like an organized event. Here This guy is talking about an event that he has put on for everyone with like chrono limits and everything.
Hi, I'm Andrew, and this is Bang Superstock. Today I have some footage from our recent
Look at that.
23 event.
See, that's like reminiscent of an M4. It looks.
This is VIP.
But you can see his foregrip is so that he can rack it.
It's functional.
You know?
While discovering and tagging the other teams.
Like
So they're all just kind of standing because the range.
If you're outdoors, this is like your Nerf range. You're getting what, like 40 feet, 60 feet maybe on a good day. He right there, VIP 150 FPS limit. So he's got his, which he said he's got his thing tuned to 150 FPS, which makes me believe that they have hot swappable springs.
Yeah, I said the spring. Well, so it would work very similarly, because it is using air. It's not using a spring. You're pumping a piston.
Same as airsoft.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the gearbox in airsoft, you're just taking a piston back
and then
your gearbox and then
releasing it.
It's just here. It's just manual instead of utilizing how airsoft cycles that piston. You've got with a gearbox, you're just doing it by hand.
Or like springers, like a spring shotgun.
That's essentially what this is. It's just a spring.
Yeah.
Look at this. Like they're running up. They're not really. That guy's got a dump pouch on. On the left, he ran off screen. But like, look at this. This guy's got a little sword. I don't really love how casual this is. Like how everyone's just
hit a reload,
walking around. Like this is weird to me to be like strafing back and forth out in the open, walking backwards, stepping forward. You're essentially just dodging other people's darts. I think if I were to play Nerf, it would not be outdoor. It would have to be very CQB.
Yeah, I think so too.
Type stuff. I mean, this is I think where airsoft really gets the advantage here is that
you're playing
way more range.
Way more. Yeah, range. Sorry, excuse me. Your play style is way different. Just because you're not gonna just stand on the open like that, right? Like. And even then, they're playing it just like a park.
Yeah.
So
but that is an advantage too. Is if
you could literally play
show
anywhere.
up to a park with this, they're not going to get in trouble as long as they are allowed to be there.
Yeah.
But like, you show up to somewhere with an airsoft blaster, someone sees you carrying these, you're getting the cops called.
You're getting the cops called on you. Yeah.
Anyways. I think this is interesting to me. It's organized Nerf. It's not as fast-paced or exciting to me as the other one. But, like, this isn't it, right? Like, SCAD hosts that zombie one. That is like a
humans versus
zombies. Ongoing.
Oh, it is.
It's like the semester, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's months. You are constantly walking around with a Nerf gun, or a Nerf blaster, sorry. And there's zombies that are trying to get you.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard stories of people climbing out of dorm room windows from the third floor to get away from zombies. Yeah. It's nuts. And I think they had to shut it down over COVID, so I don't know if it's still going on.
It probably hasn't happened since.
But it used to be a whole thing. Like people would do, because it's SCAD, right? Savannah College of Art and Design. So it's one of the most prestigious art schools in the world.
Right.
And so you've got people who are doing costume design that go on to work for Disney and stuff like that.
Doing Nerf War.
Doing Nerf War, but then like making zombie costumes for that.
Yeah. And so there's a lot there in the way of like, it really is a kind of unique kind of, I guess, like niche.
Yeah.
Like, imagine trying to explain airsoft to someone who's never heard of paintball. Because for us, what we have to do is when we go, have you heard of airsoft? No. Have you played paintball? Yes. Okay, it's like that.
It's like that, but it's a plastic BB.
Yeah. So imagine for Nerf trying to explain to someone.
Well, how do you? But I feel like it's a little bit different because
more people,
a lot of people know about Nerf. So even if you were to say, "Oh, I play Nerf," they're at the very least going to know Nerf blaster. Or you're shooting a dart.
Because a lot of people,
whatever.
again, being like more kiddie, it's like a lot of kids have grown up with that. So I don't know. What do you think? So overall, I would say they're not really super comparable.
I don't think they're very comparable. I doubt that Nerf is going to replace Airsoft unless it was something where Airsoft blasters just got outlawed and our only option
And there's
was
some other
high-impact
alternatives out there as well.
Nerf. There are.
But I wouldn't even say that they're interchangeable.
No.
I would say that CQB one that we watched, that was really unique.
That would be a fun
cool.
experience.
That made me feel more like organized laser tag rather than just like ging, 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 but rather like you have to walk back and respawn or you're out. But that would be like the closest thing, I think.
Yeah.
To Airsoft. Not really the same, not really comparable. I think if you are someone who plays Airsoft and has never tried to go play Nerf, even with just your friends.
Oh, I just completely lost my train of thought. Dang.
I don't think you're really losing anything, but like it's fun to go around the house and play Nerf. I would say at least have some Nerf blasters at the house and goof off. But like if you're playing Nerf and you're thinking, I wish I could just get a little bit more out of this. I wish it was a little bit more like
I found it.
I wish I had a little more accuracy. I wish it was a little bit more like I could play outdoor, more range. I think Airsoft is a good transition. I think Airsoft is kind of on a different level.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Oh man, I had another thought. I remembered the your brother's birthday where we decked the church out and everything. But yeah, I don't think that. I don't think that we're gonna have any issues with Nerf coming in and taking Airsoft out from underneath us. But again, like what you were saying, like I feel like if someone offered like, hey, I'm going to go play at the CQB arena.
Yeah, I would go play Nerf with someone.
Yeah, I'd go do that. Yeah.
I feel like that's it.
Yeah.
You know? We'll have everything linked down in the description that we showed today if you guys are interested in looking at those videos for yourself, doing some research for yourself.
That channel, the guy that had the minigun, it looked like he does that.
He's
like
a Nerf
3D
channel.
prints
I actually
stuff.
follow several Nerf channels. I have for years. So I've seen a lot of the cool
Just learning
technology.
all this new stuff about you.
Really?
No, I'm just messing.
Yeah. There's
a lot of really cool Nerf technology.
I could talk to you about Nerf. I know a lot of that stuff in the sense of just like what's popular right now. So,
yeah.
But if you know anything that you'd like to add, if you play Nerf, comment down below and let people know like what it's like, you know, what your deciding factor was. Is we want to kind of spread some more knowledge about all the different.
Yeah,
I guess it would be like not really combat sport because it's not
sister
like
sports.
It's not combat sport like, you know, martial arts.
Well, I mean,
it's like
Airsoft isn't necessarily a combat sport in the sense of martial arts, but I would still consider it a combat sport.
Right, because it's like versus like combat.
It's simulated combat.
Yeah. So I guess Nerf could somehow fit into that, but I don't know. It's a very, very unique, like I said, it's very unique and weird to approach because it's so like specific to this one little genre.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, you guys can find those resources down in the description, as well as we have our Instagram, our
we do.
Reddit, our merch. If you want to get some cool t-shirts, we got some awesome stuff.
And you do want to get some cool t-shirts.
Definitely go check that out. Follow us on Instagram, all that good stuff. If you're not someone who likes to click onto the description, I'm just going to tell you the Instagram. You can find us over at port_city_airsoft. If you guys really like the channel, or if you guys kind of mediocrely like the channel and you want to support us, you can do that by liking the video, commenting. We love comments. That's great for us. Sharing, fantastic. You can share it with your mom. You can share it with
your brother who plays Nerf.
You can share it with a professor that you don't like. I don't really care who you send it to.
Yeah,
you can
just send it to
people.
somebody.
That really helps boost us up in the algorithm and get our content out there for other people.
Yeah.
But yeah, we make podcast episodes every week as well as other videos like kit reviews, blaster reviews, airsoft tactics, things of that nature. We do 2 videos per month on that, and then, like I said, weekly podcasts. So
Yeah.
we're definitely here making stuff for you. You get stuff weekly, sometimes more than 1 video a week. So
Ooh,
yeah.
sometimes you get a podcast and another
Something
video.
else, a little treat.
A little trinket.
We thank you guys for tuning in today,
Indeed.
and we'll catch you guys next week.
Next week. We'll have to do a fart.
You better go to the bathroom or you're going to poop yourself.
It's not a fart.
Yeah, you better go.